What's up, guys? You're welcome once again to David DT channel, where we talk about data science, productivity, and faith. If this is your first time, please I'd like you to hit the like button and the subscribe button so you can be notified once a new video drops in. Alright, so today we'll be continuing our DBT series, and I have my DBT swag on this one. Yeah. I got it from DBT, our first in-person meetup in Lagos sometime in July 2022. Alright, so on this video we're going to be talking about DBT models, right? We've talked about how to create your or set up your DBT project using DBT core, right? There will be a video about DBT cloud. You can check that in the link above and in the link description below as well, on how to set up your DBT core. I also talked about how to set up your DBT sources, right? And you can also use that in the link above and the link below as well. And today we're going to talk about DBT models, right? Really, what are DBT models? Really, what are they, and how do we use them? So I'm going to be making reference to DBT documentation as shown on the screen here. That says DBT core and cloud are composed of different moving parts working harmoniously, and DBT, as we know, plays largely in the T part of the ELT, right, which is extract, load, and transform, where you basically transform data. In other words, models are where developers spend most of their time within the DBT environment. Now, what are DBT models? DBT models are simply select statements and are saved in a SQL file. So a DBT model would be a select statement in DBT that allows you to that creates a table that is used by downstream users or end users for either reporting purposes or machine learning purpose. In other words, there's been some transformation that's happened on that data. It could be that you've joined several tables together. It could be that you have done some aggregations, you've done some other things. Like it could be as simple as doing some aggregations and bringing out a snapshot of all your businesses at a particular point in time, as complex as doing a monthly returning revenue, monthly recurring revenue, or annual recurring revenue model, right, for your business. That's sort of a thing. So you do all these things within the DBT model, right? As of this recording right now, we also now have the Python models, right? DBT now allows you to write Python models, which is something you can check out if Python is something you love writing and you're good at that. Yeah, so basically that's really just what it is. You go to your DBT point, your could be your editor, or that's if you're using DBT core or DBT cloud, and just write that. So I'm just going to do something simple right now. So in my models profile from our last video, I created a staging folder which houses our source details, right? And our YAML file that has our source information of our table and the columns and stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to create a folder in the models directory. I'm going to call this folder math, right? So you can check the DBT documentation to see how best to structure your data set, or rather structure your project to meet your business needs, right? So yeah, so I'll create a file in here in the math directory. I'll just call it my model. .sql. I'm going to do something very simple. I'm going to see select star from so now when you're doing your DBT model, the good thing about DBT here is that I can now use my ref function. Now, the beautiful thing about your ref functions and your source functions in your DBT models is that it now allows you to see your data lineages, right? You can now know the dependencies and the what's upstream and what downstream, right? What models is depending on what, right? You can see it on a visual lineage. I'm going to show us once I do the DBT doc generate. So I'm going to use ref model to say DBT ref. I'm going to reference this staging data set, stage. Let's see, stage athlete event, right? Just very simple something. Yeah, I'm not doing anything more than this. Simple. Yeah, so your model could be anything complex. A select statement to answer a business question, as it were, or getting your data from several other sources, maybe HubSpot, a CRM, your database, and different stuff like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to just do this very simple stuff like a select star, and I'm just going to do DBT run. Yeah, and run that. All right, so it's running. Yeah, successful run now. And so it says this my model. I just DBT learn dot my model is created as a view. So we said that in your YAML file, you can, in your DBT project as YAML file rather, you can specify what you want each folder to be. So I'm going to call this folder math, and I'm going to materialize that as a table because I do not want anything in my models folder to be a view. I want it to be a table. Now this is like a general materialization, but you can also do a materialization within each model, right? Using the config block. So I'm going to take this config block and put it on top of my model. So I'm locally configuring this model to be a table. Now this configuration in my model overrides the configuration in what's it called, in my dbt project YAML file, right? So dbt run is your command you run to execute your query, your model, or whatever it is. So instead of running everything, I'm just going to run this particular model. I'm going to say dbt run underscore select my model. Yeah, so see the run is successful. Now in our YAML file that has our source configuration, dbt also allows you to put your model's configurations in there as well. So with the same format, I'm going to just put name. I'm going to call this my model, description. I'm going to call it my first model. And so if I had my column names, I could just put my columns in the particular column, add the text, maybe unique text to the primary key and not to the primary key. If I had a column that has a certain kind of values, I could add my accepted values field, accepted value test rather. So I'm just going to save this and run another dbt run, and so that we can go and see this on our BigQuery dataset. So yeah, really that's how this works. All right, so we've successfully run the model, and yeah, so basically this is your dbt models. This is how they work. You create your select statement, materialize them however you want to materialize, work your logic based on several other data sets or several different data sources, and then you can view the lineage. Yeah, so I hope you got a thing or two out of this video. See you on the next video.